So, Kysre, you had a nice season last year, but Coach Carey's talked a lot about how you worked hard to get in better shape. So what'd you do, and why'd you feel you needed to do it?
I just had to lose weight. I spent my entire off season working out 2 to 3 times a day, about 5 to 6 days a week, from 6 a.m. To 6 at night. Every day it was just getting up and doing conditioning, hard cardio. I didn't touch weights for about 2 months. I had to completely change my entire body to fit a basketball mechanism to be able to play this game at the highest level possible. And that was my only focus for after the season.
Michael Sussman.
You were effective as a scorer last year, just over 15 points a game. How are things going so far in practice for you offensively? And what were maybe some things that you added to the arsenal over the off season?
Yeah, so for me, my offense ability wasn't really that much of a focus. I wanted to add things to my game that I definitely did in the off season, such as floaters, strengthening my right hand. But I feel like I have a pretty fair and high IQ when it comes to the game. The better shape that I was going to be in, the better I feel like I will be as a player. So in practice now, it's just a matter of just maintaining. But more so importantly for me is the defense. I think, my offense would have skyrocketed last year if I were able to play on both ends and ignite my defense into my offense. So those are areas that I feel I'm excited about to see how that will play out this year in terms of the things that I have worked on.
Greg Hunter, go ahead.
So, because you're staying with sort of the getting in better shape, have you noticed on the floor, do you feel quicker, stamina better, all those type of things? How's it impacted you?
Yeah, I feel so much better. I feel lighter. I feel faster. The game comes to me a lot easier. My shot is still the same. My ball handling's a lot tighter. My feet are a lot quicker in terms of exchanging and being able to change directions and play defense as well. So it definitely does take its beneficiary in terms of the skill sets that I already had, 48 pounds heavier.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Kysre, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Good. The last couple of years, Coach Carey, as far as like his total rotation, a lot of it's been, trying to get new players, accustomed to playing at this level and new players getting used to a system. And, and not that there's not new players on the roster this year, but for the most part, there's some experience on this team, players who know what coach is looking for and that kind of thing. Can you sense a difference in this preseason as compared to the last couple of preseasons?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we have a good mixture of, freshmen and transfers. So it's not like we have a completely different group coming in where they aren't familiar at this level. So that helps with our veteran leadership that is returning. And then with the freshmen that we do have, they're long, they're athletic, they're a lot more talented than I feel that what we've had from a physical standpoint in the past. So if they can be able to apply those things with Coach Carey's mechanism and style of play, I think that would be a great combination to work out for the both of us.
Go back to Michael.
You've had a long journey in college basketball. As you head into your redshirt senior year now, how much would it mean to you to finish things off strong with a winning season?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm focused about. I wanted to put myself in the best position possible to be able to give my team a chance. Given the fact that, I am a senior on the team, with the most experience I feel just from being around the game in college for so long, I take on a different responsibility role this year. And now that I am in better shape, I feel like, my stamina, both my mental and physical endurance, will play a factor in just how well we will do. So that is the only focus that I have. I'm not worried about individual awards. I'm not worried about consistently trying to put up the same numbers from last season. I just want to win. And the better each and every one of us are individually, the better we are collectively.
Go ahead, Greg.
So Kysre, you transfer in, you have to sit out a year, then you play, only a small number of games the next year. So 2 years you didn't play a ton of games. Did it take you a while to sort of get back into a groove? How difficult was it, sitting out all that time?
Yeah, for me, it was more mental than physical. And that is why, I was 50 pounds overweight. I didn't have the opportunity and the time or the chance to actually prepare for a season like I had this past off season. I went straight into last season with no season, summer training whatsoever. So I take that very personal this year in terms of the time that I've been able to have to prepare for my last go round. And, life happens, but I'm just glad I had the opportunity to be able to do that at some point during my college career, because I find that so important moving forward towards this season.
Justin, go ahead.
Kysre, obviously, Tynice is gone, and so she was obviously a big part of the offense last year. So, talking to Coach Carey a few days ago, he was talking about how more players kind of have to step up offensively. Hoping to create some defense, to create some offense. But offensively speaking about this team, can you see it being more of a scoring by committee kind of thing, or where do you see the points coming from on this team?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there's not a gray area that we lack on our team this year. Especially now that those players have gained the experience. One thing that was beneficial playing alongside of Tynice, and as I'm sure, for the other girls, it taught them that, scouts change. We play teams multiple times. So the game plan is going to be different. I think the very first time we played against Iowa State last year was the first time a team did a triangle and 2 on Tynice, and everyone had to be able to knock down open shots. So it's, now that that you have to be aware of that this year in terms of I'm still present, but I'm excited though. In practice, Maddie has been shooting the ball extremely well. Kari's Kari. As Mary is stretching out to the perimeter now. And I just feel like there's so many assets that we have on this team this year that people are unaware of and only are privy to the interpretation of what they had from the scout of last year. So I'm excited to see how that plays out, because it's so important for everyone on our team to eat this year. I don't think that our offense, we play scrimmages and we put up a fair amount of numbers on the scoreboard. It's about what the right side looks like. So we're scoring the ball is not going to be a problem. We just have to make sure we stop our opponent from putting the ball in the basket as well.
Greg, go ahead.
Because in terms of leadership, Kari had said the other day when we talked to her that, Madison's sort of the vocal leader, but both you and her also have to provide leadership as well. Do you take that on your shoulders? And is Maddie the vocal leader of the whole team?
Yeah, I would say her personality is definitely our vocalist. Kari, she won't say a word, but she leads by example. I feel like I'm kind of more in the middle. I can do both. So I'm glad that all 3 of us are, well balanced out in terms of building relationship with our teammates to make them feel comfortable and trusting our leadership this year. And I feel like we have a strong core between us 3 in our experience to be able to motivate our team this year as far as we can.
Kevin Kinder, go ahead.
Hi, Kysre. With all of the basketball background in your family, do they talk to you about your game? Do they critique your game, tell you things to work on, or when you talk with them, is it family stuff?
Yeah, more than enough. I wish I could screen record you right now and actually send it to them and ask them to please separate basketball and parenthood. But it helps. I spent my entire summer with my dad, and he trained the hell out of me, excuse me, my language. But I feel like now that I'm in a place where I put the work in on the front end and all I have to do is maintain, that they trust the place that I'm in right now. And so too does the coaching staff. You know, I just like, my main word this year is just detail. I don't want to beat myself up too early, too soon, and just maintain my shots, my ball handling, the defense, IQ of the game. But in terms of my parents, that definitely does help. But I don't want to, they're not the first people I would call after the game or answer their phone calls, that's for sure.
We'll take these last two questions here, starting with Justin. Go ahead.
Hey, Kysre. Obviously, kind of in just a basketball general news world here. I think it was yesterday, the first college basketball game has been postponed because of COVID. I think it was the Miami men's team against somebody. But
Okay.
obviously, you know, we're getting ready to get this started, and you know, the pandemic is obviously out there, and you know, I mean, college sports for the most part can't be played in a bubble like, you know, the NBA did the final regular season. So it just kind of take me through being a college player during this pandemic. You know, you want to get your season in, but you also have a life to live and sort of thing. Kind of just take me through what it's like to be an athlete during this time.
Yeah, so from my personal experience, this is a great time for me. You know, I spent my entire quarantine working out. I will have the opportunity to be able to have access to a gym and facilities to keep me in shape, get in shape, and prepare where everyone else was shut down. So coming back up here, I'm kind of in the same routine. Given the fact that I am a senior, I'm out of here in 4 to 5 months. So my only focus is getting up every day and going to the gym and doing my work online. So if I'm anywhere outside of those two boundaries and destinations, I'm putting myself at risk to catch it, as well as everyone else in our program. And we have a good group of girls who are, you know, hungry despite the situation, the pandemic that we're in, to still stay level and grounded and hold ourselves responsible, because it's not just one person you're watching after, it's an entire program. So all we can do is just continue to put ourselves in the best position and understand that school and basketball should be our only priorities right now.
Our final question will be from Greg Hunter. Go ahead.
So Kysre, you're a senior, as you've noted, but the NCAA has allowed that you do have another year of eligibility if you want to use it. Have you thought about that?
Absolutely not. No, I'm just taking it day by day right now. You know, we'll see how this season plays out. I've been in college for a very long time. However, if that opportunity does present itself, my education will still get paid for and I can start working on my PhD. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy getting my master's and just prepare for this season. I worked really hard and I owe it to myself to just only place my focus on this upcoming year.